Hey guys, Michael with Amelia Marine. In today's video, we're doing a lot of fiberglass work. We're filling a big hole, we're feathering in the deck, and we're also filling tiny holes with chopsticks. But first, we need to thank today's sponsor, Dakota Lithium, Gatorback, Bunks, and Fulton. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring these videos. It means a lot to us. And if you guys are interested in their products, there's a link in the description below for you to get yours. You can get them on Amelia Marine or their respected websites. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
So we've been hard at it this morning. Yesterday we filled these holes with little wood dowels, which you saw us make, and then we came in this morning, cut them off, sand them off. We used one of those, what's it called, the DeWalt thing with the cutter that goes back and forth like that. Worked out real well. Michael then came and has feathered it out, and then we're going to lay some glass on this in these places. These are going to be individual. This one we made a bigger piece because we had little holes here. You fill the holes with wood and epoxy filler. That way you can, it's not going to pop through or show through when you put the glass on it. If you don't, there's a chance it could crack there and you're back to square one. So take the time to do that. That's the reason why we did this here too. We've also started to sand down the deck, start getting it ready. Kind of see what we have. We obviously, as everybody knows, we have a repair we've got to do here, and I ground this out this morning for this repair here. If you remember, this had like just a big old hole here that went all the way down to that wood. It was fine, but the problem was there was a slight gap here, and I didn't like that. So based on that, what we did was we put some of the glass epoxy filler in there to fill that up, and we'll be treating that the same way we everything else. Michael has sanded down this morning, and we're going to do the joint between this and this. And just like we did in the other ones where it has the V, you start out with a smaller one, slightly bigger one, slightly bigger one, and the idea is to get it where it's about the same height. Then we'll sand it down and match it all in. Really happy with the way this has turned out. This is unbelievably sturdy. Probably just a little more glass than we would like. Next one we'll do a little bit better. Now we know what our heights are. So kind of keep that in mind when you're doing your build up. We kind of had an idea of what it would take, and we were off by about a sheet, I would say. Maybe just a little bit over. The other thing that we've finished up, these are our pieces we glassed up yesterday. They're kind of dirty right now. We've been cleaning the hedges, get the other fiberglass the extra fiberglass off. But let me tell you, this stuff is, wow, it's pretty bad. Michael was actually standing on this one this morning. So, pretty impressed with it.
That's unbelievable. That's impressive.
That's impressive.
That's impressive.
Now we're getting into the area of sand. Don't particularly care for it, but that's what we're doing. If you're going to do a lot of sanding, I suggest you do it outside. And the other thing I suggest is that you clean up each day. If you don't clean up each day, you're going to have a heck of a mess. That's the reason why we're sanding outside. We don't want to get all this in the shop. So that's kind of a quick update. We are pushing hard on this right now. We are pushing really hard, and we're getting a lot done. We really want to hammer out this bodywork stuff, and that's what we're working towards right now, is getting this to a position where we can actually start to shoot some primer and paint on it. And it's not going to get done by itself, so kind of dedicating at least 4 or 5 hours a day to all this sanding. And I do not like sanding, but that's what we're going to do. When you're doing this, make sure you wear your face mask and your face shields. I have a problem because I need to wear my glasses, my cheaters, so I have to wear the respirator with my glasses. Michael has one because he's young, which is a full shield. I strongly suggest, if you can get away with it, use the full shield. If not, get one, a good quality 3M makes them. I believe mine's 3M. Michael's a 3M, and it's just a better way to go. It'll protect you, so keep that in mind. Okay, so we've been busy little beavers here, and we have continued to sand, and we have filled more holes. Can't remember what I did on the last update, but we ground these back and we filled these holes here. We use chopsticks, so we go.
What have I ever done to make you treat me so disrespectfully?
So we use chopsticks. So we go through periods where we eat a lot of foam. We get chopsticks. So we use the chopsticks to fill the holes, and we use the glass filler and epoxy mixed together, and basically just stick it in it, and then hit it, put it in, hit it, and then just cut the tops off. That way we just don't end up with holes. What tends to happen is if you just fill it with the filler, it tends to crack out. This way it's got some foundation, who knows. That's several people have told us to do it that way, so we're going to try it. So Michael filled this monstrosity of a hole. It looked like something from the moon.
Why here? Why the crater?
Being serious, it looked like some something big had hit it, boom, like that. I don't know. So it kind of reminded me like a, you know, like on the moon, the
Crater.
yeah, those things. But I forgot to do these 4. I'll have to come back and get those 4. But I came up here and I've been diligently working on these. I wanted to get them all filled as we sand, because I don't want to keep sanding and then come back and do it and end up having to re-sand a lot of stuff. So I've also been putting some of that stuff on here to kind of that guide coat to make sure I'm not putting a flat spot on it, because right now I'm just using a regular orbital sander and stuff, and I don't want to flat spot it, so you can't stay in one place. The idea is to keep moving. I'm just trying to take all the high spots off. There's also a lot of cracks up here. I'm gonna have to work up in here. There's a lot of stress cracks and what have you. I'm gonna have to work up in here, but you know, we're starting to work on all of these things. That's my chopstick, so we'll be using that. See right here, don't throw this stuff away. This is good stuff. Michael throws everything away, I keep everything. But these chopsticks saves you a trip to the hardware store, get picks, whatever. If you don't like foam, I mean, don't go out and buy foam just to get chopsticks, okay? That would be kind of crazy. So come along here. Michael thought this was all real funny. I don't know why he thought it was funny, but he thought it was pretty funny. We had Chick-fil-A for breakfast, and I've been working on this. I don't know what this was, whether or not it was a dent or a bulge, but if you'll remember, this was buckled here, and what I'm working on right now is to get this all level, so find out where the high spot is, and I'm going to take out the high spot, probably going to have to grind into the foam, unfortunately, and relay this entire section. I don't know what happened here. This poor boat, you know, there's just certain things I don't understand. It's as if something got dropped on it or it got hit. But we had a bulge here. I don't know if somebody did a repair, didn't do a good job. You know, it's kind of one of those things, if you start just laying glass on top of glass, it's not going to stay. So the way, like, if you're going to do that, you got to do it the way that Michael's been doing it up here, where you use the chop strand, the 1708, chop strand 1708. And always finish off, Michael tells you you finish off with chop strand because that's easier to sand, and it's easier to put the glaze putty, what's it called?
Fairing compound.
The fairing compound. The fairing compound is really thin. You know, people have made comments about it, but I can tell you that fairing compound ends up being probably less than 20 thousandths thick, quite honestly. And I've been getting on Michael about how much he puts down. He puts down so much and then he has to sand it all off. So he'll kind of get the hang of it, you know. So yeah, we're really really been hitting it hard, getting a lot of stuff done. Oh, and he has now, as you can see, this is all laid in right here. This is going to be unbelievable, let me tell you. So we still have to finish this out here, but we wanted to get this all set in, and then we're going to come in here and I'm going to get with Michael. We're going to have to grind this out a little here, grind it out a little here, and then we're going to fill it in here and do it real nice. You won't even tell that it's there. And I was going to get with Michael on what we're cutting down the top, cutting the top in half and joining that together. That's another thing we can be doing as far as laying up epoxy. And whilst that is drying and setting up, we can be working on other areas of the boat. And that's what we're working on right now. Right now what we're working on is to not wait. So whilst this is setting up, we're working on other areas of the boat. And we kind of got into a bad habit of, you know, kind of working on it, grinding on it, laying the material down and then taking a 2-hour break. But we're not doing that anymore because that's not productive. So as you can see, we've made quite a mess here this morning, and I'm real happy. Michael's happy with the direction we're heading. I'm really happy that it's fairly nice outside. It's not raining anymore, so we're able to work outside and, you know, keep this stuff off of us. And you know, The other thing is with your respirator, when you take, I have a drawer in my toolbox for my respirator, so it does no good if you take your respirator off and leave it lying up like this. So have a place, get yourself a Ziploc bag, stick it back in the Ziploc bag. That, if you don't, you're going to end up with that stuff in your lungs, and you don't want to do that. So please take your precautions on all of this stuff, okay? So thank you.